How's it going, everybody? Today we are going to be tier ranking every weapon in Splitgate 2. As you can see from my loadouts, I have fully maxed out Meridian with every weapon fully maxed out. Arrows, Meridian, every weapon fully maxed out in the beta. I used and leveled every weapon in the game, except for pistols, but I have used pistols enough that I feel like I have a good idea of how good they actually. All right, so let's get to this tier list. First up, we have the tempo. Honestly, the tempo is really strong. I don't think it's the strongest gun in the game, but I do think it is really strong. I'm gonna put it up in A tier, just because it's really good. And you're gonna notice that that's kind of the feeling with all of the main assault rifles for all of the classes, is that they seem to be some of the strongest weapons. It rewards accuracy really well. If you hit all your shots, the time to kill is very fast, but it also rewards not hitting shots. You know, it gives you a little bit of leeway where you don't have to be the most accurate with it in order to get value out of it and in order to get high kills in most of your lobbies. Next up is the Pulse. The Pulse, I'm using this ranking. I'm using Arena mode for my base rankings, not Battle Royale or big team match. So when I put the Pulse below the tempo, it's just because it's more of a ranged weapon, and I feel like it doesn't do as well in Arena. Actually, no, I think I'm gonna put it A tier. I think it's up there with tempo. I think that the Pulse actually does better in Arena, even though it is a longer range weapon. It does enough damage to make it worth it for me to put it up there with the tempo. The Cadence, however, is gonna go in B tier. It does a lot of damage, and it rewards your accuracy. So I think it's a 3-shot body shot kill, a 2-shot headshot kill. So it does a lot of damage, and you can get a lot of kills with it, but again, it's a long range weapon, and I feel like long range weapons like that just don't do really well in Arena in general. Some of the longer range maps like Ozone, you could probably do really good on it, but in general, it's not really that good. The Sprinter, probably going to be the first weapon that I am going to put in D tier. I feel like it's just missing something. You know, there's just something that it doesn't have. It's just missing something. I don't know what it is, but I feel like it just doesn't do the amount of damage that you would expect an SMG to do. It just doesn't feel right. Something about it just doesn't feel right. The Blitz I'm gonna put up in B tier along with the Cadence. It's really easy if you have the right attachments to just run around, spray and pray, and confirm kills, and even get like team wipes. You know, you just run around with the right trigger down or your left click down. If you can control the recoil on it, it can be pretty deadly. But in terms of, I think the ARs are still better in general. Let me close this ad. The Juke is the burst SMG, right? That's the burst, yeah? No. Yes, no, the Juke is the burst pistol. So the burst pistol I actually think is the best of the pistols. I'm gonna put it up in here in B tier, honestly. I think the burst is the best of the pistols. It's really solid. It does good damage. That triple burst, if you hit triple burst, I think it's like a 3-tap kill. If you hit all 3 of your bursts, it's really solid. The punch I'm gonna put up there as well, because it's kind of like a sniper. It's kind of like a sniper pistol. So it has a lot of range, especially if you put the attachment on it, the long barrel attachment. Really strong, really good for pistols. I still think the Juke is better though, especially for close range engagements. I still think the Juke is better, especially for close range engagements that you're going to be getting into in Arena. But the punch is really strong. If you have the aim and you can hit headshots, it's a 2-shot kill. You take people out with it. The Blink, let's go ahead, put it down here. Your standard pistol, it's not really that good. You're probably going to see a lot of that in the game. The Synapse, now we're onto Meridian weapons. The Synapse is S tier. Right now, I think the Synapse is the best gun in the game. I've been running with it. It does a ton of damage. The time to kill on it is insanely fast. Faster than the tempo. I'm like, if you had a 1v1 with the tempo and the Synapse, where everyone was hitting their shots, no one was missing any shots, I think the Synapse wins. It has a higher fire rate. The projectiles feel a lot better to hit, and I think it's just the best gun in the game overall. The Quantum is the burst rifle. The Quantum is the burst rifle for Meridian. The Quantum, I think, actually goes up here in A. I think the burst rifles are pretty good in arena mode. The Quantum feels pretty good. I don't think it feels as good as the Pulse for arrows, but it's right up there with it. It's pretty much right there. I think both the burst rifles for arrows and Meridian feel really good to use. The Hyperline, this one I'm actually going to put above the Cadence because it has a faster fire rate than the Cadence, so it feels really good. I think I'm actually going to put the Cadence behind the shotgun because the shotgun is that closer range, but the Hyperline has a faster fire rate, but it also does less damage, but it has that faster fire rate. It's a lot easier to confirm kills than it is on the Cadence, even with not having as good aim, because that faster fire rate, you can just it's kind of a Cadence that you can just kind of spray and pray and get kills with it, and it's very satisfying to use. It's very fun to play with. The Phasma, the SMGs so far I think are just misses. The Phasma is just, see, in the beta, the Phasma is up here, is the thing. In the beta, the Phasma is up here for sure, but it got a nerf from the beta. Do I think that it is better than the Sprinter? Yeah, I think it is. I think it feels better than the Sprinter. No, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna put the Sprinter in C tier and I'm gonna put the Phasma in D tier. I'm gonna switch those out. I think the Phasma is the worst SMG in the game, and I think the Sprinter is a little bit better, but it still feels like something is missing from it. It really, that nerf really hit it, man. It got hit really hard with that nerf, and like you can still get kills with it really quickly because it's an SMG, but like in the beta, man, you melted people. I mean, it was you press down right trigger and they died. That was it. You just clicked it and they died. It was insane. The Charger, hot garbage. Nothing really more to say there. The Tetra, the Tetra is the burst pistol. So I'm gonna be honest here, I haven't used the Tetra a lot. But I'm gonna put it, trying to think. I'm gonna put it down here in C tier. I don't see a lot of people using it. I don't feel like it's really that good. The Coil, I'm gonna put it down here as well. It's kind of a charge pistol. So like it doesn't really do that much for me, in all honesty. The Helios, I think I'm gonna put it up here right behind the Juke in terms of pistols. I think it's a pretty solid option. It just in general. I have an ad on the bottom here that's messing up my stuff as I get the thing larger. Oh no. The Trailblazer. What do we do with the Trailblazer? I think the Trailblazer, so now we're on Sabrask weapons, which is an interesting class. Because Sabrask is probably the worst class in the game. I'm just gonna be honest. The guns have a slower fire rate, but they do a bit more damage. But they just feel so like, I feel like with Meridian and arrows, you can be a lot more aggressive, but with Sabrask, you have to be a lot more defensive. So it makes the weapons feel a lot worse. But then again, that's kind of how it's designed, right? Sabrask is designed to be more of a defensive role where you're kind of like, hanging back, defending. You're sitting on the point, defending the point, You're not really running and gunning. That's really Meridian and arrows that are doing that. So it makes sense that the weapons wouldn't be as strong. But man, you really feel it. I think I have to put the Trailblazer in B tier. I think I have to put it below the Cadence. I just have to be honest. I think I have to put it below the Cadence. The Jackhammer feels a bit better. It's a 2-shot. So I'm gonna put it up here with the Quantum with the other burst rifles, because I feel like all the burst rifles are pretty strong in this game. Yeah, this is like a rare occasion where I feel like the Jackhammer is actually better than the burst AR is actually better than the assault rifle for the class, just because it feels so much better to use than the assault rifle does. The Warden, we're gonna go ahead and put that up here in B tier. No, we're gonna put it in C, above the Sprinter, but down here in C tier. I feel like it just doesn't have the same umph as the Cadence or the Hyperline do. It just doesn't. Yeah, it has the slower fire rate, and you really feel it. If you get into a gunfight with somebody that has a Blitz, has a Hyperline even, or a Cadence, or like any of these guns up here, you lose. I feel like every time. Just in my opinion, you lose every time. So the Rattler is going up in S tier. This is the best SMG in the game right now. If it's up there with the Synapse, honestly. It's kind of a toss-up between these two on which is actually the best gun in the game right now. I'm gonna give it to the Synapse because it feels really good to use. But the Rattler shoots so fast. Like, it takes a second, but if you get good at like peeking corners, shooting your first couple shots around a corner if you know someone's coming for it, and just start shooting before you peek the corner, you'll fry them. You'll fry them. And even if you don't do that, you'll still fry them. It's insane. It's nuts. This thing absolutely shreds. Next up is the Plow, which is the Sabrask shotgun. So it is a 2-shot kill. 1 shot to the headshot, 1 shot to the head. Again, it has a very slow fire rate, so like it's kind of hard for me to put it above some of these other weapons. I do feel like it's not as good as the Trailblazer, and I don't think it's as good as the Warden or the Sprinter. I'm gonna have to put it in C. I'm gonna have to put it down here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put it down here. The Snare, which is the burst pistol for Sabrask. Now we get to the Sabrask pistols. This is interesting. The Sabrask burst pistol is decent. It's not bad. I don't hate it. In terms of the pistols, I think I'm gonna put it down here with I think I'm gonna put it down here. I think I'm gonna put it in B with the punch and the juke. I'm gonna skip the Goliath. I'm gonna go to the Slinger. I'm gonna put the Slinger in above the Tetra. I think that it's better than the Tetra, but I don't think it's as good as the Snare. The Goliath, however, I think you can interchange the Goliath and the juke as the best pistol in the game. They are easily, well, here, let me put the juke in the S tier. We kind of have some organization here, so like the pistols on the right, the guns on the left. So this does not mean that the juke is better than the tempo. It just means that the juke is the best of the pistols. And then the Goliath, in that case, will go up in B tier, and so will or A tier, and so will the punch. So you can see that kind of organization. The ones on the right are the ones you want to see. So yeah, the Charger. So yeah, that's my tier list pretty much. I think the Synapse, the Rattler, and the Juke are the best guns in the game. Generally, hands down across the board, these are the best guns in the game. The Tempo in A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, and then Hot Garbage is the Charger. Do not use this gun unless you're just grinding levels. It's so bad. You have to like the fire rate is so slow, and you have to charge it up almost every time I use this. When I was grinding for it, every time I died so often, just because I can't kill people as fast as they can kill me. So it's really tough. I mean, it's nice because it rewards headshot. It's a 1-shot headshot kill, but again, the charge takes so long that if you miss that headshot, you're dead. But that's it. That's my Splitgate 2 weapons tier list. Of course, this is all for fun. This is all subjective. This is just my opinion. If you disagree with it, that's natural. That's a very normal to disagree with it. It's fine. I don't mind it at all. You don't have to agree. It's just for fun. And don't take this into like, oh, he says the Synapse is the best gun in the game, so I'm just gonna run. No, play what you want, man. Play what you want. Play what's fun. This in no way is like a meta pick or anything like that. It's just for fun. So that's it. That's my Splitgate 2 tier list.